So what are you describing as the experience of deep sleep in which there is an absence of awareness? Do we conclude there's no such thing because I have no awareness of it? We may feel I can be aware of the gap between two thoughts in the waking state. So what is the difference between a gap between two thoughts in the waking state and the gap between two dreams in the dream state? Neither of them have objective qualities. Neither of them appear in time. What is there to distinguish them one from the other? And the reason why it may be difficult for some is because we as humanity, or most people, think that the waking state, this world that feels so solid to us, this world, we think that this world exists in time and is the most real state. And that deep sleep, there's just nothing. It's like some temporary blanking. But actually, even the waking state doesn't exist in time. Time, just like choice from last week, time, just like thoughts and seeming choice, I chose, is an idea that appears in the mind, in the thinking mind, but it's never actually experienced. What we're experiencing is awareness, and the thoughts, these ideas just come and go. So we become more of this awareness, which is not in time. Time just is a seeming thing that's created with a thinking mind. We don't actually experience a thing such as time. We're more the ever-presence. So experience never takes place in time, what we're actually experiencing from the premium set. No one has ever experienced time. In order to experience time, we would have to experience the past and the future. Sometimes there can be a question. It can be an experience in the waking state of no thought. So still, it may seem like, look, if I'm awake right now, oh, look, there was a pause. Yeah, I'm aware of that pause. But I'm not aware of the pause between my dreams, because that's deep sleep, and I don't know what's going on in deep sleep. So if there's an experience of no thought, then you're not in the waking state. The waking state is thought and perception. So when we wake up in the morning and we live our lives, all our whole life has been made out of or made up from is thoughts and perceptions. I perceive a world of objects and things, and I think about things, and this I call my life. This has been my whole life. And if there's no thought, then we're not actually in the waking state. And even when there is thought now, we come to realize, even when there is thought, we're not in the waking state, because we're coming from the premium set. So even if there is thought, you're always awareness. But there is no thought appearing in you. So most people are taking their measure of reality as the waking state. People's questions are based on the presumption that the waking state is the natural state, the most real state, and that dreams are some kind of aberration of the waking state. And deep sleep, if it exists at all, is a kind of temporary blanking of the waking state. And then the next morning we get back to reality again, which we call the waking state. This, when we check our experience, the waking state is the smallest segment of experience. The dream world, where any dream could be dreamt, is bigger than this waking state. And the collective unconscious is much bigger than that. And the infinite awareness, what we really are, is much bigger than the collective unconscious. So from now on, let's start with awareness. We're investigating our experience from the premium seat, not this waking state full of objects. So we use awareness as the place to explore our experience and explore our experience from the point of view of the premium seat of this awareness, not from the point of view of the waking state. Because the waking state is only thought. What is there in your experience to the waking state other than thought and perception? So when we include thoughts and perceptions, that makes up what we think is our life here in the waking world. But there are gaps between thoughts still, right? Maybe for some. So the waking state, which is thought and perception, the gaps between thoughts and perception are no longer the waking state. They are pure consciousness. In other words, the waking state is something that appears in consciousness. Most people think the waking state is the normal state, and consciousness are these little gaps between thoughts in the waking state. It's the other way around. The thoughts and the objects are the gaps in consciousness, looking from the premium seat. The objects are little places where consciousness seems to not be present, when something called matter seems to be displaced. So the objects or the thoughts are the gaps in consciousness, not consciousness that are the gaps in the waking state. Most people are confused because they start from the waking state point of view. So if you do this, then you're believing that the waking state, that there's a reality to the waking state. But you're believing evidence of thought and perception. You're believing that thoughts and perceptions are real. But thoughts and perceptions come and go. We've already said that. The body also comes and goes. So we can't look to that person sitting in the middle row in the cinema because it comes and goes. It's not eternal. It can't offer us eternal peace to get wrapped up in thinking that we're a body and these thoughts and sensations and feelings that come and go. It's just, it can't work. It can't offer us what we truly want here. And therefore, consciousness is the thing that we seem to get through these slithers of when a thought comes to an end. It's like, oh, if I can just get rid of my thoughts. This is why people go on holidays, because they want to get free of this thinking mind. They want to get away from it. But really, from the premium seat, we can actually always live from the space. We can always live on holiday. And we don't necessarily have to get rid of thinking. Thinking's going to do its thing. Thinking's going to think. All we need to do is stay in the premium seat, and that's it. It's so simple. Let's see how much time. Oh, we're running really late. I might have to just end it here and we do this in 2 sessions. I'm just going to put a whole bunch of.
Yeah, that sounds good. That you just had lots of mic drop moments, especially in the last 60 seconds there. So yeah, I think we can continue next week.
All right. Yeah, so to summarize, I guess for the rest of the week, just I guess it's a good meditation, it's something to maybe meditate on and yeah, explore this idea that maybe what I am from this premium seat is my most real state. This is my most real state now. Oh my gosh. And thoughts are gonna come, thoughts are gonna come and appear in me. Also neutral thoughts, good thoughts, bad thoughts. But I'm just watching. Let's just watch this week as life itself, what we truly are. We can experience our thoughts as being made up out of us, like actually almost like falling in love with thought in a way. It's all me, it's all appearing in me. And if it's you, then it's all appearing in you and made out of you. And maybe that can offer some sort of relief for anxiety, knowing that I don't need to resist this thought that's making me anxious. In fact, I can actually move towards it and see what happens.
Indeed. Wow. Thank you so much, Anne. This new for sharing today this concept that it's backwards, that actually it's not that we have sensations and in thoughts, and in between those it's awareness. We are awareness, and in between we create interruptions of thoughts and sensations.
Yeah. Great. Good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well, everyone watching, listening, anyone have any questions here in the Zoom room? Any questions before we close this training? Looks like everyone's good. Awesome. And Cheetah, do you have a question?
I think I just had to run out of the room for a second. Just thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, we'll explore it more. We'll finish this lesson again next week. And again, any questions you can send to me throughout the week, or write them down and we can discuss it next time. I think maybe I should make these sessions a little bit longer than half an hour, because it's just, we might need a few extra minutes. So maybe next week it'll be 45 minutes, just to let you know.
Indeed. Yes. And if you're enjoying this, whether here you live in the Zoom with us or you're watching the replay on Facebook, as I was watching Facebook on a different device here, and there were sometimes people coming in, watching for several minutes. So we're getting some traction there. If you're really enjoying this, go ahead and share this with friends and family, co-workers, people you care about who might help you in your own journey. Because if you share what you're transforming yourself on a weekly basis, then it's easier for the transformation to sustain when you do that in community. So it's easy for you to come here and talk with us and learn from Anne. And it's then easier if you have people that you talk with frequently, maybe daily. And sharing is a way of living. And whatever you speak, you create. And so if you're going to speak about what you just learned today or started to learn today here, this amazing upside down idea that Anne just made a great point of, that we are awareness and we have interruptions of pure consciousness with thoughts and sensations. Share, invite people to come and watch your life get to whatever level you're heading towards, in a way that it's not a solo journey, even though solo journeys are great. And I believe, at the spiritual level, we may all be part of a greater thing. We're not going to go into that today, but yeah, the point is share, invite people, and see you next week. Any last words, Anne?